Welcome everybody. I am Carmen Leoni. I'm talking to you from my home here in Lavagna, a little village close to Portofino in the north part of Italy. First of all, I would really like to thank Boston Early Music Festival and especially Paul Odette and Kathy Fay for inviting me to this important musical project and also for making so much effort on keeping alive the musical scene during pandemic, inviting so many artists, giving them the possibility to express themselves. As you can notice here, we have different keyboard instruments. On my right, there is an harpsichord. Down there is an unfretted clavichord. Here, those two instruments are both fortepianos and actually quite similar instruments. The one on the left has an original keyboard and an original action built by Ziegler, who was a Viennese builder of the late 18th century. The problem of having an original keyboard is that sometimes it makes some noise. Therefore, we couldn't use it for this concert. But I have the great chance to play a beautiful copy of a Walter, Anton Walter Builder, the typical Viennese piano, also of the late 18th century. We know that Mozart in 1782 bought a piano like this one, actually. He bought really an Anton Walter piano. Actually, it's interesting to consider that any keyboard player of the period of Mozart would have been able to play all these different instruments. So, clavichord, harpsichord, and fortepiano, even organ. It was absolutely normal. This instrument I play in my concert. Compared to a modern piano, of course, you can notice is smaller, is lighter. It's lighter because everything is made by wood, almost everything. It has a smaller range of keyboard, so which has 5.5 octave, goes from F to C. And the weight of the keys is very light, so much lighter even than a harpsichord. So it is very important to have a very light hand technique to control this kind of keyboard. The interesting things we can say about sound of a Walter, of any other Viennese piano, is the possibility we have in such an instrument to change the color of sound. And for reaching this different kind of tone, we have three devices underneath of the keyboard. I mean, three knee levels. You can see it here underneath. The knee levels on the right side, like the pedal of any piano, lift the dampers, as you can see. And therefore, it was called the pedal of forte. It sounds like this. The knee level on the left side is called una corda, and it splits the keyboard toward the right, so that the hammer, which normally plugs two strings with una corda plus, of course, una corda, and it sounds less. You can compare the same thing I played before with una corda. Of course, it sounds less, and also it has a different timbre. In the Centum, we have knee level for moderator, which moves this strip of wall, which in the position between the string and the hammer. So if I play normally, sounds like this. With moderatore, sounds like this. Of course, you can notice that the sound is much more dark, much more piano, but also dark color. This is a big help to the player who likes to change atmosphere and emotion during his playing. As I try to explain in my notes program, classical repertoire needs constantly to create a different scene with a lot of contrast. We pass through calm and dreamy moment to agitato situation. And to me, playing a Mozart sonata or Haydn or even Scarlatti piece is a bit like telling a story where things are happening very fast, and I can imagine characters dialoguing, discussing, fighting, making love, sometimes taking fun each other. And I would like to make you some example to explain it better. In the third movement of the Haydn Sonata I'm going to play soon, we find a typical dialogue between two characters, a strong one, maybe a bit angry, and a more weak and shy one. So the first character says, ask a question like this. We can even imagine a text to it like, what the hell are you doing? And the weak character answer, and why do you ask me such a thing? Again, the same question. Answering, well, really, I don't know. Another clear example of changing a scene, we find it in the first movement of the Mozart Sonata, where we pass through an agitato moment, which sounds like this. And then Don Giovanni arrives, takes her, and la ci darem la mano. And so on. The title of this concert comes from the introduction of Domenico Scarlatti of his Esercizi per Gravicembalo, where he defined his sonata like lo scherzo ingegnoso dell'arte, the ingenious joke of art. Music written with the only intention of being fun. As in opera buffa or commedia dell'arte, this kind of music with a lot of humor seems to represent the serious game of life, with all its contradictory aspects. I hope you will enjoy.